Top shortest players in the NBA world. Every sport comes with its stereotypes, and one of the unusual ideas about basketball is that all the players are tall. And for the most part they are. But not every player fits into the usual mold, and shorter players have even made it to the top heights of the game. In this video, we'll take a look at the top short players in NBA history. Muggsy Bogues. There's no better name to start a list like this with than Muggsy Bogues. That's because he's on record as the shortest player in the history of the league, at only 5'3". Bogues has become a pretty iconic player, not just because of his play on the court, but because of the visual contrast in size between him and many of the other players in the league. We've all seen the picture before of Bogues standing next to Shaq and how big the height difference was. There's plenty of other pictures like that one too, that capture the difference in size between Bogues and some of the taller players in the league, or even his own teammates. As for his playing career, Muggsy also did pretty well. Good enough to play between 1987 and 2001, making it with multiple teams in that time span and doing more than just sitting back on the bench as a player only known for being short. His 7 assists per game over the course of his reasonably long career showed that Bogues was able to make it on an NBA roster without needing to lean on the novelty of being the league's shortest player. Spud Webb. The next name on this list is Spud Webb, who only comes in at a little taller than Bogues at 5'7". That height advantage that wouldn't matter that much for anyone else is a big deal in basketball, and Webb is perhaps most known for his dunks and his victory in the 1986 dunk contest. Now, this wasn't an easy competition to win. This was back in the 80s before the dunk contest lost some of its prestige. These days, the biggest stars don't usually enter the dunk contest. That wasn't always the case back then, and Webb found himself dueling with his Atlanta Hawks teammate Dominique Wilkins while going for the victory. Wilkins was the winner from the past season and couldn't have fought harder to defend his crown, but Webb also had his eyes on the prize and came out on his A game. It's hard to not get excited. After all, when a player that's hardly tall enough to grab the rim is able to throw down hard dunks. That dunk contest was probably the most watched moment of Webb's career, but he did have a pretty good run outside of it. He was able to play for various teams between 1985 and 1998. That's after entering the league in the 4th round of the NBA draft, where not every player sees the light of day after being selected. Kyle Lowry. Lowry isn't under 5 feet tall, but he still holds a spot on this list nonetheless because he's shorter than what you would expect from his position and success in the league. Point guard is a physical position after all. You have to pass the ball, get in position to receive passes, play defense, and strategize for future plans all within the space of one position. Therefore, it's more impressive that Lowry has reached the heights given that he's only 6 feet tall exactly. Lowry has been a 6-time All-Star, and all of those appearances have come with the Toronto Raptors, the team that Lowry really broke out with. He's been in Toronto since 2012 and was a big part of their title team as their starting point guard. Lowry is actually the shortest player on the Raptors roster right now. Shooting guards Fred VanVleet and Norman Powell are both taller, but only by 1 inch and 3 inches respectively. That didn't stop Lowry from averaging almost 20 points per game as well as 7.5 assists per game last season, however. It seems like growing up in North Philadelphia and playing for Villanova made Lowry tough enough to handle all the bumps and knocks of being one of the shortest starting point guards in the NBA as a whole. Isaiah Thomas. Not the Isaiah Thomas that played for the Detroit Pistons, but the one that's a free agent and last played for the Wizards. Remember how Lowry is one of the shortest starting point guards in the league? Well, Thomas comes in at a shorter height than Lowry at 5'9". Thomas was drafted into the league with a 2nd-round pick, specifically the 60th pick of the draft overall. Obviously, his small size made a lot of scouts doubtful about if he would even adapt to the NBA game and become a star in the league. But Thomas has proven so far that when he really feels like going off, he can go off. Just look back at his run with the Boston Celtics, where he found himself acting as the team leader in place of others who didn't step up as much. Unfortunately for Thomas, the franchise wasn't actually interested in sticking by him even after that. Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson is the same height as Thomas and played at the same college too. Both players are even from the same state, with Isaiah hailing from Tacoma and Robinson from Seattle. Like Spud Webb, Robinson used dunking to put himself on a map in a way that regular play on the court can't always do. He actually has more success in the dunk contest compared to Webb, as Webb only had 1 win in the dunk contest, but Robinson has 3 such victories.
Tonight, he's got everybody on his side. Let's see what he's got. Oh, okay. All right. couple tips, too.
Robinson and his career just go to show you that you don't need to be the tallest person around to get good at basketball. You can even win the dunk contest while being shorter than most players. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel below if you enjoyed it.